What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Let's talk about BlackRock, and they are purchasing a stock that's undervalued. It still hasn't recovered from the pandemic, whereas other major tech stocks have, and they just poured billions of dollars into this specific company. It's pretty interesting because when you see major funds like BlackRock, Vanguard, Morgan Stanley buy into a specific company, it's generally a really good sign because they're putting a lot of money and faith into that specific stock. And they usually invest in things that are pretty undervalued, pretty safe, and not that much movement. And also, this company has pretty phenomenal dividends, which also is like the icing on a cake. BlackRock, you can see it right here, BlackRock Inc. Long story short, BlackRock purchased a ton of KOF stock. In fact, they spent $2.4 billion, bought 53 million shares all in one sitting. Usually when you see companies purchase $2.4 billion of a specific stock, they buy in slowly, not all at once. Maybe they split it across 3 or 4 different quarters. But BlackRock went in extremely heavy on KOF stock. They spent $2.4 billion, and this date was reported around December 31st, 2020. So that's not that long ago. It's like about 29 to 30 days ago. And after they reported it, it's a massive position. I'm looking into this. It's huge, and it could be a very genius play. So what is KOF stock? This is Coca-Cola FEMSA. Now, these guys are based in Mexico, and it's mostly food and drink. It's a fairly simple business, and they have a very long history. Now, obviously, though, the share prices have never really done so well, but at the same time, around 2018 to 2020, the share prices have always been extremely consistent at around $60. I mean, back in the glory days, these guys are about to hit 100. The dividend yield is fantastic at 4.5 to 5 per year. That's insane. That means you get a ton of dividends every single quarter. But here's the main catcher. The reason why BlackRock went in so heavy into Coca-Cola FEMSA is because these guys are still relatively cheap compared to before the massive pandemic drop. These guys should be worth at least $60 to $65, while the share prices are only reflecting on $46. BlackRock has also thought to themselves, even if they're left back holding the stock, priced at $46 for a very long time, the dividend yield is so high to the point that it's actually worth. So it's actually a win-win for both situations. Obviously, if you buy into the stock, you're hoping that it goes up, but if it doesn't, you could simply just live off the dividends every single quarter. So what is Coca-Cola FEMSA? These guys are a Mexican multinational beverage company. They also bottle a ton of Coca-Cola drinks, and the company has operations in Latin America, and it's pretty profitable. And it's a very simple business. It's nothing too complicated. It's not really tech related. It's a really simple business, and Coke, these soda beverages and also water, etc., are being used and drinked every single day. So it's not like a business that will just simply disappear out of the blue. It's not like a LiDAR company, which if they screw up, then the whole entire company is gone. This is a Coca-Cola bottling company. This company is super simple, and they just make sugar drinks. It's as simple as that. And they already have several operations in several different countries, and they have a lot of different products. And obviously, this is why BlackRock purchased 53 million shares all at once, because these guys, it can't really go any lower. If you look at the line ever since this March all the way to now, if you look at the share price from March all the way to now, the share prices have always somewhat hovered at around the low 40s, and it has always just stayed there. And these individuals who own Coca-Cola FEMSA for such a long time actually get to enjoy very nice dividends while they're back holding the stock. It feels really, really good when you're also getting rewarded when the share prices are simply not really moving that much. I don't think a lot of people appreciate KOF. It's a very, very simple business, and they have been selling a lot of items. Now, obviously, we will get to the revenue and how the revenue is somewhat decreasing, but I'm guessing the revenue should eventually rebound all the way up after this pandemic. Now, KOF stock isn't just owned and loved by BlackRock, but several other funds out there. One of the most notable ones include Bank of New York Mellon, which has increased their positions by 12%. You also have some other smaller funds out there increasing their positions massively on the stock, which is pretty nice. If you scroll all around, It's actually not too bad, even though there is a lot of red, meaning people are cutting their positions. But there's also a very, very large chunk of individuals that are increasing their positions, which is represented by the green percentage. Coca-Cola Finsta, obviously the share prices didn't really do so well back then because the overall revenue dropped by from 12 billion to 8.8 billion. And when you have a revenue drop this much, your share prices are not going to move. But ever since then, it has always hovered at around 8.8 billion to 9 billion. So there's really not that much, action to it. These guys just bottle sugary drinks, and that's about it. Their sales has also been extremely consistent. From 2013 to 2019, it has always been very, very consistent in the millions of crates. It has always sold between 3,200 and 3,300. And the sales are very consistent. There's nothing really too volatile. I guess when you're buying Coke and also sugary drinks, you usually drink them on like a weekly basis and you always buy them. And these guys have always been extremely consistent. Barclays has also increased Coca-Cola Finsta stock. Barclays has also increased Coca-Cola Finsta stock to $50. They seem to like it. It's a pretty good dividend stock. On top of that, it's so undervalued to the point that you just simply can't not buy it. There's also another price upgrade from Morningstar. Morningstar is giving Coca-Cola Finsta a $60 valuation, meaning they're expecting Coca-Cola Finsta to go all the way back up to $60 where it nicely belongs. For 2 whole years, 2018 to 2020, the stock has always hovered at $60. Right now, the stock is 25% below the original price before the pandemic. I think Coca-Cola Finsta is a really good stock. If you ask me for my opinion, I wouldn't really mind buying it if you want something super safe in the stock market that could give you extremely good returns. This is a stock to go for. Right now, you can invest in Microsoft, Amazon, or Apple, but those guys have already hit trillions and trillions of valuations. The share prices, if you expect them to go up another 25%, is extremely difficult. Like Microsoft has been flatter than a table recently, and KOF stock is hovering at just $46 when you have several analysts giving it price targets of $50 and $60. When you have BlackRock purchasing this many shares all at once, I think something is definitely up. After the pandemic, when everything returns back to normal, the share prices should eventually go back up. The dividend yield is extremely good at 4.57%. So even the bag holders are extremely happy with Coca-Cola Finsta. I think it's a very good stock that people are simply missing out. So definitely check it out. You won't regret it. These guys are pretty cheap right now. It's $46 a share. In the past 3 months, it's already been doing pretty well. Up 11%, past month 3%. And obviously you still get these juicy dividends, which you just simply cannot miss out. So right now, Coca-Cola Finsta is being bought heavily by massive funds. I think it's because it's super undervalued. If you guys want to make a good 25, 30, maybe even 50% on Coca-Cola Finsta in a very short amount of time, this could be the stock for you, especially if you want to do it pretty safely. These guys have straight up bottomed out so much. And by the way, definitely check out the free Discord server in the description below. It's completely free with 23,000 members. There's also a Patreon link below, and also my second channel, which is mostly focused on heavily edited Tesla videos. I'm sure you guys will definitely like it. So that's about it. Enjoy your day.